I was muted. I apologize. But welcome back to another Oh So Curious today. But it almost feels like a DCU daily just the entire day because we have so much DC news for you guys. We got a ton. We're talking about Joker Folie Do again, and nothing but bad news on that front, unfortunately. But in terms of better news, we do have the Penguin that's soaring while Joker is floundering. We were talking a bit about that yesterday, and we're going to talk more Penguin today. But we also have, in terms of non DC news, we also have The Wild Robot. Apparently, a sequel is possibly happening to that. And Chris Sanders pretty much confirmed it, but who knows if that's actually going to really pop off the ground because, things get canceled all the time. Then we also have, Venom The Last Dance. We have the final film in the Venom trilogy coming out in a couple of weeks, and it's hoping for a good opening. And then finally, we have movie of the week, which we're going to be talking about a little bit of Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. I briefly touched upon it back when I saw it, but we'll touch upon it again because the nationwide release just happened 4 days ago. So I think it was a good time to talk about it, as well as our review of the latest episode of Superman and Lois. And then on top of that, in terms of specific DCU daily news, James Gunn confirmed that everybody's favorite Superdog is definitely going to be coming to Superman in 2025. And then we also have a bit of Harrison Ford, loving his current job at Marvel for our MCU weekly segment. And then finally, we are going to look ahead to the Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage helmed brothers. So stay tuned for all of that and more. If I'm
Hey. Hello? 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 Hi, everybody. It's Angelina. I haven't been back in a second. Nice to see you. We don't know what's happening with John, so I'm just going to say hi. I'm excited to be back. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're actually getting started with Joker, Folie Do, and how bad that bombed. It is set to lose about $150 to $200 million. Isn't that crazy? We know John saw it, actually loved it, but I haven't seen it yet because, in part, I've heard awful things. So there's that. John, are we here? What's going on, everybody?
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
Mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without this.
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow! Wow!
This has been a long day.
Hey, how you doing, John?
I greatly apologize. My fucking browser just crashed, so I had way too many tabs open. So I greatly apologize if you heard me.
Sorry, because my forehead is shinier than.
No, it's fine. So now we're in the Murphy's Law. Oh, so curious. today. Welcome. Everything that's going wrong can.
We love.
I can't do anything right. So let's move on to the news.
We're riding the struggle bus today, y'all. So first,
Yeah.
as I said, we are talking about Joker. Joker Folie à Deux is set to lose $200 million, which is huge problem.
Yes.
How do you feel about this? Considering you liked the movie,
I did.
It a surprise to you that it's bombing?
I mean, like when it first came out, I was like, oh yeah, no, it's gonna do well. And then when it was like, oh no, this is actually like the worst movie of the year now, I'm like, okay, now this is not surprising. It's unfortunately very much not surprising. But yeah, it's just unfortunate because it's just like obviously I try to be an optimist as much as I can. So I want all the people to love the same movie, but that's just not how the world works.
Almost never what seems to happen to you, John.
So, I want people to like it. I kind of understand why people don't like it. So it makes
Can you break
sense
it down
that
for me? Like, why do you think it's as bad as people say it is? Like that to me. So I haven't seen it yet, and that's because I've been really busy. I was pretty sick, and then on top of that, people said it was garbage. So I was like, why the fuck am I gonna go waste my Friday evening going to see this if it's that bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it more than the first one. I explained this into my review. So
just give me the 2-minute
Cliff
breakdown.
Notes. Like Cliff Notes is essentially I liked how it was a grim examination of who Arthur Fleck was and what the Joker is and how that, fell, and how it was the fall of Joker essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I liked it. I thought I liked the ending. I liked the third act. I thought a lot of this movie worked, but I already talked about that. If you're curious to know my thoughts on Joker further, that we did do, the movie of the week a couple weeks back with Liz, and we were both talking about it. I liked it. She thought it was okay, but wouldn't recommend it. But I really enjoyed it. But that we're not here to talk about that. But I would say if you're really that curious, I would say just ride the high seas and just Pirate's Life for me.
Well,
to not waste money on it.
This is set to just be the biggest bomb of the year. I don't think his name is Todd Phillips, right? Todd Phillips.
Yes, and
I don't think he will ever get free reign on a movie ever again. And I think
probably not.
The biggest issue here is that they didn't do previews, they didn't take any advice on notes. It was just Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips fucking running with it, and it didn't work. Let's also talk about the fact that Joaquin Phoenix's last several movies, like Napoleon, Joker Folie à Deux, and I feel like there was one more before that after Joker came out. All of them have been.
Beau is Afraid was another one that flopped and was very bad.
Huge budgets on these movies. I don't even want to know what Joaquin's take-home pay is for these movies, and they're bombing left and right. So it's just kind of
the biggest second week drop off in history. It seems like with this chart right here. Thank you, Dan, for this lovely chart. But yeah, I think it wasn't the movie that people were expecting, and I understand that to an extent. It's just I feel like there's also people, again, small contingent that just didn't give it a chance. They went in or okay, this is a musical. I hate musicals, so I don't want to give it a chance. You also had the Literally Me crowd who were oh my God, why, how, what? And it's just it wasn't what they envisioned. But not saying you have no reason to hate the movie or anything like that. If you hate the movie, that's cool. That's fine. I don't want to yum your yuck, I guess.
Yuck is crazy.
But I think it at the end of the day, I didn't think it needed a sequel, but I still enjoyed what I saw. I went in super open-minded. I was like, let's go, and I enjoyed it. But
as each day passes, I'm more and more excited for Superman.
That's fair.
I think that is fair. in fact, yes. The Watcher. Gunn have the man notes, and he said no, bruh. I love the way that period was used. Gunn have the man notes, and he said no, bruh.
And so it's a shame because I really enjoyed it, and I'm on an island, so I think but it's and then on top of that, it's apparently going to streaming a couple days before Halloween, and it hasn't even been in theaters for a full month.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about the fact that it is hitting streaming, I believe, on the 26th, right? Which
29th.
29th. So we're talking on a Tuesday because Halloween is on a Thursday. So that's a Tuesday. It's hitting streaming. It hasn't even been in theaters for a month. It is set to lose $200 million. I mean, this is probably one of the saddest box office situations, not just this year, but of the past 3-4 years. This is terrible. The budget for this movie was wasn't it 300 million plus
I think 180 to 200 million. Plus, I don't know what it is plus marketing, but probably
it was 100 million that they used to market this movie.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's sad, but it had everything stacked against it. It was pretty much only made because Warner Brothers was jealous that they did, because they had no faith in the first one. They wanted to shit it out. They didn't care. It was, most of the they only had a 30% stake in the production. So then they immediately, oh my God, this made $1 billion. Let's immediately greenlight a sequel. So, and just move the hell on and let's make all this money again. Let's do all this stuff. Let's bump this. Let's, get Todd Phillips back. Let's have it, give him free reign. Let's get Lady Gaga. Let's have it music. And it's just slow down. There's a reason why the first one worked, and let's not do that again. But even as someone who enjoyed it, I get it. And I think it was just spiteful. I think from a Warner Brothers point of view, I think they should have cut their losses and probably just, canceled it and just, either sent it to streaming or, but they were it was kind of like what The Flash was, where they're let's just go full steam ahead and
see where it lands, I guess.
But in terms of spin-offs of Batman villain characters, Joker's falling, but the Penguin is completely soaring.
Yes.
We have greatness here with the Penguin. It's tallying up almost 2 million viewers, which in this day and age is really fucking good.
Yep. By every week they've had more, right?
Yeah, it's going up and up, which is weird because
especially mid-season. That's a weird thing. So we're exactly halfway through. They're planning 8 episodes for this. We just got to see episode 4. Did you see it? You saw it, right?
Yeah, no, me, Liz, and Bridget talked about it yesterday. So if you guys want to know further thoughts on the episode, we talked about it yesterday.
Yes, so definitely go tap into the DCU episode yesterday. I too am on the Penguin train. I love it. I was super excited about episode 4. It was really nice to get to see Sophia's point of view and she's not really the hangman. Her dad just pinned it on her. I was this is crazy. But I also kind of love it because you get this sort of, this is the origin story of the villain, right? She is now the villain, and I do not blame her for it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall it's a great show. Week by week, we're getting more and more people in watching. If they can continue this trend, which I think they can at this point, I'm curious to know what the finale numbers are going to be.
Yeah, it's because it's as I've been, the average is you get a really good premiere and then it drops off from there. Even for really great shows, it's either a steady decline, okay, it's like kind of getting there, but it's not like bad. But then there's like, and even like even a good show, like it's just kind of that, like, fucking Superman and Lois, which is what I will get into later. That's a great show, but it's only now getting, even though the past few seasons it started at 1 million, it ended at like 0.75. Now it starts off at like less than 500,000, and it's just kind of going down from there, which is unfortunate. But it's just like that's the average of like, because I mean nobody's really watching TV live, so it's hard to like get those numbers. But it's the fact that it's doing that in this day and age is really a fucking huge accomplishment, a huge achievement, just showcasing how truly, like, yeah, I would agree. She's excellent. Kristen Milioti plays it beautifully. The writing, the direction of this show is fantastic. Lauren LaFranc, I don't know who the fuck you are. Just give her every contract in fucking Hollywood now, because she knows what she's doing. Matt Reeves, thank you for hiring her, because you know what you're doing. Even though I didn't like the Batman very much, I kind of want to go back to the Batman. I'm like, maybe I'm missing something, because like this show is just that good.
I agree with the Watcher. Sophia is the best written female character in a long time. I absolutely agree. I think she's probably one of the best written female characters of all time. When is the last time that you got to see an origin story of a female villain? Come on.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, but even that was kind of like,
yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago, too. That was years ago.
It was a long time ago, and it sucked.
Wasn't that like 10 years ago?
8.
God, that came out a long time ago. We're getting old. Holy shit. 4 million views used to get a show canceled. If you all need it is 1 million now, then Gotham should get a season 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, okay, Casey, yeah, but that's since the birth of streaming, like nobody. I know a lot of people that literally wait until the finale of a show that like waits until the finale and then binges the whole season. I think most people do that. John, don't you do that? You're one of those? Usually, right?
It depends on the show, but not really. It's like if it's a show I don't have like if I'm on the fence, then I'll maybe do it. But it's usually like I was gonna do that for the Percy Jackson show, but then a bunch of people I knew who also read the books were like, "Don't watch it." I'm like, "Okay, I won't watch it." So I ended up not watching it. So I did do that. I usually I try to binge multiple seasons, like a show that's been on for a while, so I have enough content to keep me satisfied, and then I go to another show. I did that for Resident Alien. I'm doing that for Evil because I just like these shows seem interesting, so I'll binge it. But like usually I don't watch week to week stuff. The Penguin and Superman and Lois are the few exceptions to that rule because like the Penguin is just that good, and Superman and Lois, I've just loved this show for so long.
It's also become like it's literally like it's me, my boyfriend, and his roommate. We'll sit down and watch it every weekend, like when we're free. It's just become like what do I think happens next in the show? I think Sophia goes for the Penguin all out. Something is gonna happen. I'm interested to know what, but definitely. He messed with the wrong woman. That's for damn sure. My goodness. But I'm super excited to see it. Overall, I think we've got even better stuff in store. I'll be really sad if this doesn't end well. You know what I mean? I'm like,
but in these types of shows, they rarely end well.
Superman and Lois. I've never watched this. The only shows I am watching week to week are The Penguin and Tell Me Lies. Tell Me Lies is like.
Tell Me Lies. Is that like a Fleetwood Mac show or something?
No, not at all. It's actually this like college suspense drama. It's crazy though. Like these characters and the storylines are insane. Like insane. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And you can't turn around or stop watching. You should check it out. Just watch one episode.
Yeah. I know Dan's like keep pushing me to watch for All Mankind, but I think my parents would like it, so I gotta like get them to watch it. And I'm like, hey, what's? And they're watching like 15 million shows right now. I think they're watching like 4. They're watching Only Murders in the Building. They're watching, which they say is like fucking terrible now. And then they're watching The Old Man. They're watching. Watching Slow Horses. They're watching. God, they're like retired. They have nothing else, so they're just watching like a shit ton of shows.
I kind of love that though. I love that they watch that together.
Tulsa King. That's another one they watched. That was another. They watched
Tulsa King. Really. The older generation ate that shit up. I feel like my grandma was.
Yeah, because it's by Sly Stallone. They're like, I recognize him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I remember when he was the boxer Rocky. That was good. That was amazing.
Was the best.
Yeah.
After this is Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. I don't know what that is.
Actually. I don't know what that is, and I think they said something about Creature Commandos too. But anyway, Wild Robot. That's a sign of Dan wants us to move the fuck.
Yeah, Dan said keep going, people.
So Wild Robot.
Did you see the first one? I didn't see it, and I want to see it.
You would love it. You would love it so much.
I literally remember watching the ad, like the preview for it, in the theater to watch another movie, and me and my best friend, we just looked at each other. We were like, "Oh my god, it's so wholesome. I need to see it. My soul needs it." LOL. Not STFU, Dan. That's crazy. Y'all are wild.
But yeah, so I'm stoked for this. I watched this movie. I expected like kind of a I expected like Iron Giant meets WALL-E, and that's exactly what I got. And I'm happy about that. It's so well done. Lupita Nyong'o's excellent. Pedro Pascal, America's Sweetheart, excellent. Fucking Matt Berry, What We Do in the Shadow fans, he's in there. Who else? Catherine O'Hara in there, excellent as always. Every single one, like Lupita Nyong'o, like my girl's just given like so many amazing performances, just making me bawl in my movie theater seat, like just like she knows what's up. And it's just like the animation is amazing. It's a brilliant story. It's touching. It's action packed. It's like, this is the type of stuff. These are the type of kids movies we should be like making.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Beautiful, brilliant, doesn't talk down to your audience. It lets the animation speak for itself. Like most of the opening is like almost dialogue-less. And I don't know who plays the goose, but he was also really good. He was a kid actor, so he's also really great. Ving Rhames, Mark Hamill, like so many great actors in this movie, and they all do such a brilliant. Like again, we did an Oh So Curious on this a couple weeks ago, so if you want to know my further thoughts, but it's amazing. And Kit Connor, that was I knew his name. I was like, what? He's been in a couple things, but yes, Kit Connor. Oh, she's already starting. But we have Angelina here. Is that enough? I'm sorry, Lenny. But yeah, she Lupita Nyong'o is so fucking good in this movie. But
I honestly love her. I think she's brilliant. I think she's a really brilliant actress. I think she really brings. I don't know. I haven't seen her fall flat in anything, actually. I think she's
even Quiet Place Day One. That I will say, I'm kind of
performance in that movie.
I'm kind of an outlier there. I like Quiet Place Day One is like my second favorite movie of the year. I really love that movie.
Yeah,
it was so good. The next Game of Thrones. That's what it was. Yeah, I knew Creature Commandos in that one. No, I haven't. I haven't finished season 2. I kept forgetting about it, but once October is done and I have time to go back to my TV shows, I will definitely do that.
Yeah, crazy busy.
But I've been a very busy boy.
A busy boy. We love a busy boy.
But
I feel that.
The thing is, Wild Robot is one of those cases where, again, I don't want to spoil it for you because obviously you haven't seen it yet. But it's definitely one of those movies where it's like, either or could happen. Like if they didn't make a sequel, I would have been happy. The fact that they are making a sequel, I'm happy. Like I feel like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. We happy? We happy. So it's
Good. We love it.
I'm glad that we're getting and apparently, well, it is based on a book. And it did get a second book, so I assume that that's what the
That's
second movie is
great.
going to be
Well,
about.
at least
So
they'll have way more basis for the sequel.
right,
Instead of it just being one of those, quite frankly, like one of 800 million basic sequels that ends up falling super flat. So that's awesome.
And Chris Sanders, we did talk about him. Like this guy has just made like so many amazing, from a directorial point of view, from a writer's point of view, and a story point of view.
Too.
Lilo and Stitch,
which is just
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
He also wrote the story, not the script, but he did write the story for Mulan, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast. So
I didn't know that.
This guy is goated. Like this,
Chris Sanders. This guy is old. How old is this man?
He's in his, I think he's in his 50s or 60s.
Oh, that's not bad. That's kind of incredible.
But yeah, he also, and then I think he did story for one of the sequels for How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, he's 62. But yeah, he worked at Disney from 88 to 2007, and then he's been working at DreamWorks since 2007. So yeah, this dude is like,
Mulan is one of my favorite movies. Like one of my favorite Disney movies. Absolutely.
Yeah. And he also did the Croods movies, which were surprisingly pretty good.
I don't know if I saw those. Well, I'm excited for that. I definitely need to see the first one, and then I'll let you know what I think about it. But I am excited that I also love it when like the oldies but the goodies still keep making movies, because I think that that's what keeps
because it's like it hopefully it'll inspire the next generation. I believe the director of Inside Out 2 is a younger guy, Kelsey Mann. Yeah, they're 49. That's younger. That's not young.
Younger than.
I mean, it's not like a 20-year-old, but you know. And anyway, Dan,
we're getting comments to pivot.
Anyway, speaking of animation is a lot like VFX, and you know what has a lot of VFX? Venom: The Last Dance. Boom, there you go. Okay. So it seems like the new Venom movie, the final Venom movie, well, final until Avi Arad gets a horny again and wants to make another Venom movie because he loves Venom so much. But Venom: The Last Dance is hoping to make a decently sized box office opening with 70 million. Remember back when everyone thought Joker Folie à Deux was going to make 70 million at the box office? Fun times. Anyway.
Well, this is not quite as big as their last opening, or the opening of the third one, right? The third one in 2009 or something. Is that long ago? No, I've got my years all.
You talking about the third Spider-Man movie?
No, the third Venom movie.
This is the third Venom movie.
Wait, then the last one was the highest grossing one?
What? I think what?
I think I read an article maybe backwards or something. Sorry, guys. We're having
Venom 2 was 2018, I think.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. The last movie opened at 90 million, I believe. So
2021 was Venom: Let There Be Carnage. And then Venom in
2009, guys.
2018. Well, 2007 featured Spider-Man 3 featured Venom. I don't know if that's what you read, maybe.
I don't know.
But
not sure.
It was made for $110 million. It's, $70 million opening is a decently sized opening. So we will obviously see with this, but I'm like, it's just like I mean, obviously, people are, after Madam Web earlier this year, and after Craven got delayed again, and Morbin Time,
Craven has been so delayed for so long. I'm just like, I literally have no hope for it anymore, which is so sad.
Yeah, I mean, Venom is like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't like the Sony movies because they're good. I like them because they're fun. Even if like in a really bad way, like Morbin Time and Madam Web, or in like a decently enjoyable time, like Venom and Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Like, obviously we'll see, the Venom movies are the best ones, like so far. They're not great, but they're like fun.
I like the first one. I remember the second one being like
weird.
tired, which sucked because like I really loved Tom Hardy, but I just feel like he's kind of given up a bit. I don't know.
I think he's kind of enjoying himself because I feel like Tom Hardy's just like the type of guy who's like always like oh, I'm the cool like cool guy, like everyone, like I'm like the James Bond-esque kind of guy that's in a bunch of Sir Christopher Nolan productions, and now he's just like weird gross dude who pees himself in Venom movies, and I'm like, you know what, I'm happy for him.
Weird gross dude that pees himself
in the trailer they show him peeing himself.
Oh, okay, all right, well,
yeah, I don't get it, but you know what, it's fun. Like, it's probably not going to have that big of an opening, but it's it's an enjoyable time, so that's cool with me, and I enjoy that.
Right? We get to watch that next weekend. No?
Yeah, it's next weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venom 2 sucked for real, though. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It was.
I mean, Woody Harrelson was great, but he's great in everything. So.
Yeah.
He was even good in like I don't know, Cheers. Cheers was great though. Like, what was that movie? Wasn't he in like a weird movie with like Demi Moore and like he wanted to have sex with her or something? Was that Indecent Proposal or something? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I actually don't know. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. Anyway, but yeah, Woody Harrelson was great in Let There Be Carnage. But yeah, these aren't great movies, but I enjoy them for what they are. And I have El Muerto was canceled. I have a strong feeling Craven will probably be the last one of any of these.
I agree.
Because yeah.
It's sad.
It's just not good at this. They're all bombing. Madam Web was like the worst. So Madam Web was the worst movie of the year, and then Borderlands came out, and then The Crow came out, then Megalopolis came out, and then Joker Folie à Deux came out.
We're just having a lot of really bad movies this year. It's like
a lot of bad movies based on previous works, whether it's comics, movies, or video games, or just weird passion projects by film auteurs that are way past their prime. But you know, I still like Megalopolis, but that's just me. Yeah, I like Venom. I like the first Venom. I ironically like the second Venom. I ironically like Madam Web and Morbius. But none of these movies are great. They're fun. They're okay. So it's like, all right. But $70 million opening, that seems like it's the worst one, but it's like I think it's just showcasing at this point. People are kind of getting sick of this stuff, and with how many bad Sony movies there's been, it's just like, let's kind of, get this shit over with, and that's kind of fair. Not gonna lie, especially with how bad Madam Web was this year, as I said. So, yeah, but in speaking of comic book news, we have this amazing little tidbit that James Gunn dropped, and we're going to be talking about that in DCU Daily, so like obviously stay tuned for that. But it's just like, ooh, look at this little nugget. Look at what Daddy Gunn gave us. This Daddy Jimmy.
Daddy Gunn, my goodness.
What was it you said, Dan? Uncle Jimmy? Yeah, Uncle Jimmy. Zack Snyder's daddy. James Gunn is Uncle Jimmy. So
look, Pedro Pascal is the only man I will call daddy on.
Not even your boyfriend? That's a shame. Anyway. So James Gunn dropped this little nugget.
I'm dead. And on that note,
we blow out the scented candle. Now it's getting serious.
Yes. Do you see the smoke? It's getting extra spooky in here.
So we're gonna be getting into that on DCU Daily. Oh, God, don't burn yourself, Jesus Christ! But we're gonna get into DCU Daily. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching so far. We'll get into that real soon. We apologize for the craziness.
Nah.
So now we are going to get into Superman related stuff, but not James Gunn Superman stuff, but Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Now, as many of you know, we've been saying this for a past couple weeks now. Um, Super Slash Man, the Christopher Reeve story, was released in a limited theatrical window on September 21st and 25th, and it got rave reviews. It gets like James Gunn kept saying over and over again, "Oh my God, this is like such an incredible movie, such an amazing movie." It got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Both the critics and the audiences gave it 100. And and they ultimately decided, you know what? It's been getting that many great fucking reviews. Let's give it a nationwide release. I apologize to our international folks, but it is getting a nationwide release here in America. Hopefully, you guys can see this, whether it's on Max or a Warner Brothers conjunction with a streaming service for overseas like Sky and stuff like that. But yeah,
you watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it in the original theatrical window because I didn't think that there would be a nationwide release.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
go see the movie now in theaters. Please do. It's amazing. And so yeah, I did do a quick review. I don't remember when, sometime after the 25th, which was I saw it on the 25th, which was Christopher Reeves' birthday, which I assume was not an accident. So I watched it then. I think like a day or two later, I don't remember which DCU Daily it was, but I did quickly give my own review of it. But to say it now in our official context, Superman Christopher Reeve story was an excellent movie. It's a very, I like how, Super Slash Man, that's a good idea. Thank you, Casey. But I thought that this was it's just one of those things where it's like I feel like you can't say anything bad about it. Like it's just like it's well made and it showcases various sides of a man we hadn't really seen that much of outside of like public stuff. So you do get it kind of goes back and forth between pre-Superman as well as during Superman and then post-accident, like his like activism. But I think the way it like kind of went back and forth between the two was very good. There was a little bit of like editing issues in the beginning, like it was a little like daunting going back and forth. It was like not cut as well as it could have been. But
is that because it's just like archival footage?
Yes, a lot of archival footage. They had a lot of home movies. That's what was shown a lot of in the movie. Christopher Reeve and Dana Reeve had a lot of home movies. And there was also, him like getting like the rising star and like kind of plateauing and like he was trying to like be shown as like a serious actor, but like nobody wanted to see him outside of Superman, which was part of what was deemed the Superman curse at that time. So, I mean, it was sad, but it showcased and it also showcased he wasn't perfect. Like, yeah, he did a lot of greatness. He did a lot of good things, but it also like he didn't have like the best relationship with some of the people around him, like personally. But a lot of things got better as time went on. He got a better relationship with his kids, and all of his kids were a part of it. His ex-girlfriend, they were never married, but the first two eldest kids he had with his first partner, she was in it as well briefly. But yeah, it focuses on all the right things. It did everything right. It's very emotional. Bring tissues. It's a lot because they focus a lot on the relationship between him and Robin Williams, that friendship between the two of them, and how everything just like how because I knew obviously when you saw him, I didn't really I wasn't really aware he died in 2004. I was like 7. Yeah, so I didn't really know him post I just watched the movies and then my mom would tell me about him after the fact, after he passed away. But he it was very interesting to see the side of him and how really difficult it was. I mean, I'm not saying it's a shock that he's bad. It was a bad thing that happened to him or anything like that. But it was even more eye-opening than I thought it would be.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we only got to see the outside of it, and really, he was just so much more. Like, he was so much more than Superman, but he was the Superman to all. I mean, to America for like so long. Sorry, guys, I'm getting over a sinus infection. Casey, I don't even think I was born yet either. To be so honest,
No, I wasn't born when he got his accident.
Yeah, none of us were. So it's definitely one of those things where it's like, if you have any curiosity, I don't know, I think it'd be like a beautiful, heartwarming story no matter what, just to see how he got through that. I mean, he lived a beautiful, long life after the accident. It was just so sad.
Lenny, what the fuck are you talking about?
What?
What?
Me? Huh?
What? I'm so confused.
Serving overseas as a cook is crazy. Well, next up we're talking about Superman and Lois.
Yeah, going from one Superman to another.
Yeah, this is like one of your favorite Supermans, isn't it?
I think Tyler Hoechlin might be my favorite. Like, I love, yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's just like, he was one of those cases where it was like, wow, I hate this guy. And then like within the first 5 minutes of the show, I was like, oh no, he's the greatest Superman of all time. But I think so. It was revealed in the end of the first episode that Superman's dead. He dead. He got killed by Doomsday, and then there was, the second episode where it was like kind of showcasing like them trying to like, oh, maybe we can bring him back, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. But then it turns out they just couldn't. They killed his heart. They couldn't bring him back. So now this was like kind of picking up the pieces after that. We got some flashbacks. It was mainly focused on Sam Lane. But in addition to that, Wole Parks and I forget the actress who plays Natalie, but John Henry Irons and Natalie Irons came back for this episode. But it was mainly like Sam Lane. We got a lot of stuff with his character, how we get some flashbacks with him and how he meets Clark Kent and Superman, and him falling in love with Lois, and how like Sam Lane reacted to that. I mean, it felt kind of obvious. Now this is going to be spoiler heavy, so if you have not seen if you have not seen the Superman, so if you've not seen Superman and Lois episode 3, spoilers. So it was revealed that Sam Lane did die, that he gets killed by Doomsday. But honestly, with how they were setting up this episode, I'm like, it feels like they did. It feels like it felt very obvious. I would say it's not as good as it wasn't as good as the previous 2 episodes. However, I wouldn't say it was disappointing. I'm sorry you were disappointed, Lenny, but damn. Yeah, I mean, obviously Superman 4 sucked. But I think this episode does do a lot. It had a good like picking up the pieces kind of story. There is a bit of progression in terms of outside of Sam Lane as a character. We did get a lot of just pick and pick, but I feel like as well there was one thing I can see that. I feel like they went a little bit too emotional with certain aspects, I think. But I also didn't like how they gave Jonathan powers. I feel like the thing that made, him great and so different from Jordan was like he was the man and Jordan was the super. Like, I feel like Jonathan holds the values of like Clark Kent, while Jordan got the superpowers of Superman. That's what like made that work. So the fact that he like gets really angry and then suddenly gains powers, I'm like, all right, that was a little bit silly, but then they kind of won me over again later on in the episode, where Jonathan was like, I'm not really ready for this. I mean, I want to train properly. I'm not going to just throw on a suit and start being the next Superman. I want to make sure I'm like holding true to like dad's legacy, and I want to, be better. That they kind of won me back with it. They're still holding on to that, and I feel like he'll be the proper Superboy, while Jordan will kind of just be a schmuck with powers. That's what they're kind of setting up. And you also have Lex Luthor doing some Lex Luthor stuff, which I liked, and then it might be revealed.
This is the last season of Superman and Lois, right?
Yes, it is the last season. It's also revealed that Sam Lane injected himself with a serum that would give him like kind of super powered abilities. Kind of like they gave him like, I don't know, it was like serum stuff. Like it gave him like, it was like a super serum kind of thing, and that would make him that would make him like kind of like have the same DNA as like a super being, which is like, okay, use my heart to bring back Superman. And so that's what they tease at the end of this episode, that Superman might be coming back, which is interesting because I didn't think they would do that so quickly, even if they would. I thought they were going to go full dead with it, which is definitely interesting. So I'm curious how that's going to work. I still have my theory that it's gonna be Cyborg Superman, where they're like he's gonna be partially brought back, but he like needs help. So that John Henry Irons starts like building like around him, and he's like gonna be like Cyborg Superman. And then like you have Superboy, you have all the characters that come in, and then you have Steel, and you have all these characters that were in the Death and Return of Superman story. So I think I'm really excited for what's to come. I would say that the first 2 episodes were better, but I wasn't as disappointed. I thought it was a good episode, not great, but I'm still excited for this overall season, and I'm stoked. I'm loving this season so far. Like, and I'm glad that they had time to like give us a good goodbye for all of these characters, whatever they decide to do. So I thought it was a good episode, not perfect. It's hard to be like, okay, you talk about the Penguin, which was so magnificent, and then you get into this, which wasn't quite as good, but it was still very good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I haven't seen the show. I don't think I'm going to be seeing the show, but I've heard great things about it, and honestly, it redeemed my hope in Tyler Hoechlin just via you, because I only knew him from Teen Wolf.
Yeah, so. Teen Wolf. Yeah. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
next up, we are talking about something real fun, y'all. We got to see a little picture of Krypto.
Yeah.
Roof. Yeah. Roof. Y'all want to see my Krypto? Morris is here today. Mama, you want to say hi? No.
He's like, nah, fuck that shit, Ma. I'm out of here.
No, Ma. Sorry, I'm chilling. They're just giving me
I'm chilling, Willin. So yeah, but yes.
Are we able to show? Do we have the graphic? Do we have the teaser?
Yeah, Dan's bringing it up right now. There it is.
Look at him.
I like how his little ear is like up.
I know, it's great.
It's very cute.
It's giving Super Dog for sure.
I'm
real fun about this is James Gunn actually posted on his Threads account this sort of teaser that Krypto and confirmation that Krypto is going to be
there. He is.
Yeah. So do they just like CGI out?
It's like with how it is. It seems like it's. I think this is Krypto. But
why wouldn't they just get an all white dog? Like I don't understand.
I don't know.
That's weird. I don't know. Right?
Maybe he's. I don't.
His favorite dog. Maybe he just has the spunk of Krypto.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have that perfect dog. Like
doggos. Yeah, doggos are the favorite. I love dogs.
Fuck cats. I'm
love
just
them.
Kidding. But
Hemi, you didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Angelina is the Krypto. Yeah, she's the Bitcoin.
It's me. Well, so it was kind of cool because we got to Krypto. I like the dog more than I like the trunks.
All right, you can fuck off, Antonio. All right, let's get out of here.
I'm not. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel the same. But with that being said, it's actually kind of fun because James Gunn gave us a little bit of insight on why he chose to write Krypto into his iteration of Superman. And it really was based off of his own dog. He got a dog. It sounds like right during COVID, like when he was writing, or not during COVID. I assume it's during COVID. I don't know why. But he just said it's based off of his dog Ozu, who he got while he was writing the script, and he was just like, I can't imagine Superman not having his furry best friend, which I love because we haven't really gotten to see Krypto in any iterations of Superman.
Yeah, the only one we got was in Titans, which less said about that, the better.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Fiona, I agree with you.
It's like that paraphrasing of that quote by Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This is Krypto. We've only had a picture of Krypto for a day and a half, and if anything were to happen to him, I would shoot everyone in this room and then myself. That is essentially we all fall in love because it's like that's like if you're looking to make Superman more relatable, give him a fucking dog. Like, give this man a dog. Like, and we have a GIF version of like the Earth spinning, so that's yeah, I mean, I would have preferred like more like like a Dalmatian without spots, like that kind of look to it, like a very smooth kind of look. But honestly,
what does Krypto look like the cartoon?
He kind of changes a lot. He looks like kind of like a
that's Ozu.
Yeah. He kind of looks like a white golden retriever or like a Labrador, like a yellow lab or a white lab, I guess. But he's kind of changed a lot. But I kind of like how he's like this scrappy kind of Jack Russell Terrier kind of vibe a bit.
Yeah.
So yes, I love all these pictures. They're all great. But yeah, it seems like this might be the Krypto we have because that was like kind of
what do they do? Paint him white?
There he is. Like, I guess like CGI him with like white stuff because like that seems like the case, and I'm like, you know what? And I love how me and Dan were talking about this over the summer.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
Where we were like, oh yeah, no way that's gonna be Krypto, no fucking way, because it's like he's small, he's scrappy, but it's like, no, yeah, he's Krypto. I'm like, I don't mind being proven wrong. That's cool with me. That's fine. And like there was the whole thing. I don't think we have that picture, but there was the picture of like Mr. Terrific, like with the dog treats, and I'm like, no way. It's just like we saw a pet store. He, it's just gonna be a bunch of dogs that get out of the pet store. But it's like, no, it seems like we are gonna be getting this Krypto, and he's gonna be in that scene. So this is great. Do we have more of this dog? Or there he is again. Hey, doggo.
Look at him.
Going back to it, roots. I think you meant ROTS. But yeah, okay, there he is. Yeah, you have Mr. Terrific with the dog treats. Yeah, I love that fucking suit so much. This is a great fucking suit. Like, God, that's great. That's a great suit, and that's a great suit. Just so many great suits all about. But yeah,
you talk about the suits. I'll look at the dog.
But yeah, I mean, I no matter what dog they were gonna get, yeah. Like exactly, like no matter what dog they were gonna, I'm happy as long as you don't get like Streaky the cat. Fuck Streaky the cat. You got that is Supergirl's cat. So
James Gunn uses animals in everything.
Yeah, I mean,
something like that.
I don't remember anything in the first. I mean, Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, of course, Rocky. Of course, Rocket is. You got Rocket, and then you also brought in he's got dog energy. Like that's Batman has cat energy, Superman has dog energy.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, you have Rocket, and then on top of the fact you have I know, I'm just kidding. I don't mind cat. I'm just not a cat person. Like I don't mind cats. If you like cats, that's cool.
Wow, he's really nice to you about that, the Watcher. Oh my goodness. He's not nice to anybody else about cats. It's fine. It's fine.
And then you brought Cosmo in for Guardians 2 and 3. And then they brought in Eagly for Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. Well, he wasn't in
honestly, I feel like that just makes me like James Gunn even more. The fact that he's an animal
lover. Like who doesn't love a good animal?
I think every day I finally got to do a shoot where I was shooting with this puppy, and it just like didn't even feel like work.
You were shooting a dog? No, I'm just kidding.
I was shooting a commercial.
I know. I'm joking.
But I got to hold a little puppy that he was like this little baby. He looked like Scrappy Doo, I swear to God, but he was so cute and he was so crazy. He was just like, but it just didn't even feel like work. It just made everything so much better.
If I held a dog that small, I would have just cried again because it would have brought me back to like when I had
No,
my
he was like
previous.
2 months old, but he was just like he was one of those. Yeah, that's my.
I have a feeling that they're gonna bring in Krypto, like it. I hope this is the case where it's just like they do the. I don't think James Gunn is going to have the origin because he already confirmed that we're not going to see like the rocket ship. But I hope the lore and the backstory for this iteration of Superman, that it's just like Jor-El was just like, he's going to need a companion. Throw a dog in there. Just like, just put the dog in there. Sure. Here you go.
He came down. Yeah, he came down on the spaceship together. Rocket, Rats from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Rats. Rats.
The whole god. I don't think there was any animals in Suicide Squad unless you're wow, there's so many comments coming through. Rocket, Rats from Suicide Squad, the whole goddamn Animal Kingdom, and yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Does Groot count as an animal? I feel like he does.
Groot is a tree. That would be nature.
But Groot is like a cute little baby tree.
Yeah, that's a tree. That's not an animal. That's the complete opposite of an animal. No. He has a different cell structure than an animal.
So cute. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Dexter, Chip, Streaky, Ace the Bad Hound. Catwoman, Catman. Yeah, a lot of stuff. DC loves their animals. Well, yeah, I mean, what dog? To be fair, what dog isn't a menace sometimes? Like, yeah. You know what? Like, it's like you love them. I love my dog deeply.
Yeah.
I love my Ruby. I love her so much, but at the same time, I just look at her where she's just smiling and happy. Her face is wet with skunk spray because she decided to fight a skunk under our deck and brought it into the house. Like, I love my dog, just not when she does shit like that, or eats deer poop, or, tries to attack bees and then gets stung, or pees on the couch. So it's like, what dog isn't a menace at some point? Like, come on.
So my dog hasn't done anything that crazy since I would say like about 2-3 months old. He used to chew the baseboards. That shit was wild, crazy.
Yeah, my dog, she is a menace. I love her deeply, and if anything were to hurt her, they would not find their body. But I love my dog. I love my dog very much. But yeah, she can be to society sometimes. But yeah.
Honestly, I feel like Ozu is even like structured after this dog with the fuzzy little ears.
Oh yeah, that's what it seems like they're going for,
Yeah, 100%. So cute. Sorry guys, it's way past my bedtime over here. My goodness.
What's your bedtime?
Well, I've been getting up really early and going to bed quite early. So.
That's what it is. Because it's midnight here and I ain't even tired.
No, yeah, it's like almost 9:30 here. It's craziness.
All right, so let's try to speed through this so Angelina can get her beauty sleep.
Look at him.
But yeah, I'm glad they officially were bringing in Krypto because it was rumored for a while, but now it's like we're getting that confirmation that the great Superman's best friend is coming in. Honestly, I might, if the dog dies, like I would kill James Gunn. Like he would be the one responsible because he kills the dog. But like, I don't think he would do that because it's like trust me, like literally my favorite movie of all time has multiple dogs dying. So I'm not too like angry about it as I used to be. But like at the same time, don't be killing dogs, people. Heat visions his foot. That yeah, because that was like teased. I say I'm not tired. Look at me, I'm yawning now. Yay. Yes, Ron. Krypto.
Yes, Ron. Krypto. We're getting the Krypto. We're excited about it.
We're all excited. Except Dan. He actually secretly hates dogs. He totally just totally hates them. He really hates dogs, and
yeah, he's also just an awful person. It's totally yeah.
He No, Dan is another lover boy of the dog.
Yeah.
We got a little Zelda. We can't see her right now, but maybe.
You don't turn your back on family.
That gave me a quick time to blow my nose. Thanks for that, Dan.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm happy. We happy. So I'm good with Krypto. I'm good with whatever he looks like. And I just hope he gets a little cape. Like that would be cute. Like maybe not a cape, but like a scarf with like the insignia on it. That would be cute. I would.
Yeah, that would be cute, right? Or like a little bandana with Krypto.
Yeah.
I
a
like
cape, a bandana, a scarf, whatever it is. I would love that.
That's cute.
Um,
I like it. 10 out of 10. I'm more excited for the other heroes, especially MT and Metamorpho.
Yeah, I'm excited for Mr. Terrific, Eddie Gathegi. Like he definitely needs some redemption after they fucked him over in X-Men First Class. We're still pissed about that, Fox, although not Fox anymore, Disney. But Ace. That would be great. And then we can get like a proper Super Pet spinoff. We can get Cosmo, I think Jay Garrick's turtle. I think Cosmo was the horse that Supergirl. You know what? Less said about that the better. But I think Jay Garrick had a turtle. That would be awesome. I forget what his name was though. The Flash turtle. I'm gonna no. Because I know that there's a villain called the Turtle, but I think he also had like an actual turtle. I think. I'm looking up League of Super Pets because I want to. Not the movie. I don't care about the movie. Get out of here. But yeah, I think we're gonna be getting some. We're gonna be eating good tonight. We're gonna be eating good next year. We're getting some proper stuff and great. We're gonna get doggos. Like, yeah, I know. But like, okay, look, we got James Gunn is in charge of the studio as well. And on top of the fact, they're not just like semi rebooting Christopher Reeve. It's a full reboot. It's like, get that out of here. Yay. I don't want to see this. So, yeah, I am very excited for this. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say, but
I'm trying to think like what the 2006 Superman was. That was not Henry Cavill. Who was that?
For 2006, that was Brandon Routh for Superman Returns.
That
most people don't want to.
It was like yes. I don't even remember.
Anyway, so enough about doggos. I'm sorry, we got to stop talking about the doggos. Angelina has now checked out. But James Gunn did what Uncle Jimmy wanted to clarify that the announced projects, Authority, Brave and the Bold, Booster Gold, all those, they're announced. Only the ones that are currently in production are the ones that are something's happening, like Supergirl, Lanterns, and Peacemaker, and obviously Superman, like those four, and that's it. They still plan to do those. It's just they have not gone into pre-production yet. They're pretty much greenlit, but they're just because like James Gunn is just really wants to make sure that these scripts are good because he doesn't want to, fall into the Marvel trappings of like, oh yeah, let's greenlight 10,000 projects. Let's like have like the same writer work on 50 of them, and then and then we're just gonna fucking do 7 of them at the same time and hope for the best. And they're gonna have like a 6 months pre-production to release schedule.
But honestly, I mean, is that a good way to do that? Like, are they trying to like see the hype for it? Are they just trying to like put it out there that they're hoping that they can do this to like get the fans excited? But then what if it doesn't come through? Like, does that even make sense? I don't get that.
Yeah, I think it's just like he wants to make sure all the time is going to all the right things so that it's not like
don't announce them until you have
That's what the comments are saying, Dan. If you scroll down to the comments, that's exactly what they're saying here. Because they're like, why would you announce them if you're
like that
can't
doesn't make any
hold
sense.
up
Like
to
you're
that
not
promise?
sure that it's gonna go into production, and why are you announcing it? That doesn't
So
make sense.
there was some comments. There was, of course, they don't show up now, but I literally just okay, that's gross. Yeah, I don't mean to sound daft, but why announce if you don't have viable scripts? So yeah.
We agree with you.
I do like that. Shade. That was funny. But yeah, the terrific what's it? That's what Jay Garrick's turtle was. Yeah. Also real name Merton McSnurtle and McSnurtle the turtle. Yes, this is a real character. He was a turtle with the Flash's powers. He was introduced in 1944.
Right. 10 out of 10.
I love it. Like I love silly shit like that. It's great. But yeah. Bring Merton McSnurtle in there. Come on, guys. Let's go. Talkie Tawny. Let's fucking go. But yeah, so I understand people's like qualms with this, but like at the same time, I like how he's giving it time. It's just like maybe don't announce everything. I think my friend had a good point of this, but he also he despises James Gunn with every fiber of his being. What they should have done is announce Superman, and that's it. They should have just announced Superman.
Yeah.
And it's like this. He's like, this is going to be the start, and we're also continuing Peacemaker. So then they are in they're in pre-production. So it's not they are technically greenlit. They are in pre-production. It's just it's just going to take longer than. But we are still getting these. But it's just like I'm aware of that. But it's just TC24. I'm aware of that. It's just that with the way James Gunn has been talking about it, it's just. Like people are confused, like why announce them if you're talking about, oh, we're only going to be doing it when a script is done. So it's like I know that's the normal way of doing it, announcing without a script. That's what most people do. That's what always happens. What James Gunn is saying, he's like, okay, we're not going to put these into production until we get a script. So it's like people are confused. It's like I understand that, but at the same time, it's like why are you announcing it if there is like if you're going against the grain? So it's like. A little bit confusing, but I don't mind. At the end of the day, I'm cautiously optimistic with a lot of these projects. I hope that they're good. I want to say Uncle Jimmy's doing the best, but I think we have a brighter future. So but speaking of future, for the next couple of weeks from now, or not even weeks, days. We're going to be getting, Creature Commandos at New York Comic-Con. So he's talking about Bell Rev and like where the, inmates are. And we're going to be getting, Creature Commandos in less than 2 months, guys. We're going to be getting it on December 5th, Thursday, December 5th. And they're going to have a huge panel at New York Comic-Con talking about Creature Commandos. I think like Steve Agee, Alan Tudyk, Frank Grillo, Zoe Chow. Pretty sure Sean Gunn is going to be there too. They're all going to be there. I don't think like Viola Davis is going to be there, but most people are going to be there from this crew. So that is very exciting. Mm-hmm. Yes. And Liz is going to New York Comic-Con. She isn't going to this panel, but she is going to the Penguin panel.
I love that.
So we're going to get tons of pictures, tons of videos. Liz talking about all kinds of shit, so that's definitely going to be very exciting.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'm excited for Creature Commandos. I wish it was less monster Suicide Squad and more like its own thing, but I'm still excited for it. I think like reasonably, not like oh my god, but like reasonably, like okay, this looks interesting. And I like the cast. Alan Tudyk, God's gift to humanity. Frank Grillo, our boy Frank, doing a lot of great shit, and then everyone else.
Like we've been talking about this show forever. Forever. I feel like it's been in production for years at this point.
Yes, thank you, The Watcher. It's just like a lot of people are just like, maybe they're just inventing excuses to be mad. That's entirely possible because a lot of people are like, you fucking, it's gonna suck because Henry isn't there and Zaddy isn't gonna be there. So, meh. So there's all those people that are, all those angry Snyder cultists that are like, it's gonna suck because there's no more Zack Snyder and there's no more Henry Cavill. So I don't care. But this right here is definitely like I love the animation. It's like kind of going for like an in-betweenness of
not a Zaddy and Uncle Jimmy collab. I'm dead.
The only way Zaddy will come back to DC is if he does a Dark Knight Returns adaptation, which would be terrible because it's directed by Zack Snyder. So, I'm not terribly really gung-ho on that collaboration, but I am excited about Creature Commandos. And I like, I love the look of this. I like how, James Gunn, I know this has been confirmed for so long, but it's just like, I like how we're getting like some frame of continuity between animation and live action. I love that. Like, I feel like that should have been, taken advantage of at some point, but like never had been. It was always like segregate the animation and live action, but no, James Gunn's like, bring them together. James Gunn is like, I was gonna make a joke. I'm not gonna make that joke. He's bringing them together like a good Uncle Jimmy is, and we are stoked for that. We're stoked for Comic-Con. We're stoked for December. We're stoked for next July. But yeah, that's pretty much it for DC stuff. We kind of went on about the dog stuff, but we get so excited. So thanks for watching DC Daily.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. You're already dressed up as Krypto. You're wearing all white. So next thing that we got to talk about is Marvel now. Remember Marvel? Yeah, they're still around. Not for long.
Are they though? We don't know.
We'll see. But
Harrison Ford is like, boo on people that are, think it's silly to be in the Marvel universe. Like, wow. I don't think he said it like that. He's kind of got this cool James Dean thing going for himself.
Hey, kid, I think it's real silly that Marvel is getting shit on. Like, that's my best.
I think that's a little bit better than my go-to. But essentially, Harrison Ford is the new Red Hulk. I don't even know how much money he's making for that. Millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Billions.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's kind of an interesting casting. I love Harrison Ford. He is in his 80s, right? So like the physical embodiment.
Well, he's like in mocap, so like.
Yeah, but even in mocap, he's gonna be like.
Well, like originally it was William Hurt, but he died. So they had to bring in someone of similar age to like, because I mean that's what the comic is Thunderbolt Ross becomes Red Hulk even as an older man. So I assume like they get a motion capture actor that is younger to move
a little bit quicker.
So like he's not like Robert De Niro in The Irishman who's beating up a guy and he looks like he's about to break a hip. So we got that, but it's just like I find it so funny that it's like Harrison Ford like has to say like Marvel makes like good experiences for the audience. It's stupid that people make fun of him. It's like, wow, surprise that the man who just got paid millions and millions of dollars is speaking positively about a company that gave him millions and millions of dollars.
Okay, but like even more so than that, it's like Harrison Ford has been a top movie star for how many years to sit there with that
American
quote? You know what I mean? It's like, who are you to say that it affects the image when you have an image that sits on its own and has for so many years because you literally started acting in the fucking 70s? Like, how are you going to say that it can make or break a newer actor because they can't get out of that world? Like, I do kind of feel like the movie star is dying a little bit.
No, it's dead. It's been dead. Like
I don't think it's 100% dead because I do think that you can look at Timothée Chalamet or you can look at Zendaya and just be like, yeah, they're movie stars. does it have the same effect as it did with Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Harrison Ford?
I will raise you up. I will raise you it's not dead. The old school term of it is dead. Like, sure, there's movie stars, but not like movie stars. Like, you don't go to a movie theater where you see like it wasn't like, the golden age of Hollywood where you see Elizabeth Taylor's name in bright lights with spotlights on a golden marquee, starring in the most lavish production that's been ever made with like Cleopatra or anything like that. You're never going to see that again.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to see that again. We haven't gotten anything close to that since maybe the 2000s, but even that's being generous. The movie star, like, sure, you have people that are oh yeah, I'm gonna see this new Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong movie. He looks great. I enjoy Bob Dylan. That's his next movie, I assume. I don't know if he's doing anything before that, but
yeah.
So he's like, I like Bob Dylan. I like this Timothy kid. I'll go see it. But that's as the extent of a movie star is nowadays. You just see this actor. I'm like, oh, I recognize him from Dune. I'm going to go see this movie. That's literally it. That's all a movie star is nowadays, because I feel like, and I am going to go off on a side tangent a little bit. I apologize.
Right.
But because I feel like with what people are going to the movies now, they're not looking for a star. They're not looking for one person to go see a movie. They're looking for an entire experience because the economy is shit. They don't have the time, they don't have the money, and they don't have the energy to fucking go to the movies anymore. There's time, people are working like 3 to 4 jobs to like barely scrape by for rent. So you don't you're just like, after working like 3 doubles, you're not gonna like, oh, I'm gonna go see Venom the Last Dance because you know what, I want to. You don't have that. You don't have the time. You don't have the money. As I said, you're working 3 to 4 jobs and you're barely making like rent, which is now like $2,000 a week at this point. And so you don't have the money to do that.
Where are you living? My goodness.
I live near New York. But you
2,000 a week is crazy.
It's not 2,000 a week. I'm being hyperbolic. But it's like you're barely scraping by, and going to the movies, even for one person, like at the very best, if you get no popcorn and you're going to a matinee, it's like maybe $10 to $12, and that's a lot.
Not here. It's even more. If I go on a Thursday afternoon, it's like $17. If I go to any of the like prime ones, it's $26. It just
for me. I'm not living in a super. I live in a rich state, but not like a super prime rich state. Like comparatively to like fucking LA or California in general. But I pay like, I try to go on a matinee on like a weird day, like maybe a Monday or a Tuesday, and I get that, make sure, because the lowest you can go is $9.69. I know the specific for an adult.
Why don't you just get AMC pass?
I do plan to do that. It's just like, again, money's tight. Dan hasn't paid me yet, so I haven't gotten that chance yet. But I'm just kidding, Dan. Love you, Dan. But I do plan to get AMC. Like, I'm gonna like maybe make it like a Christmas gift for myself eventually when I
bill Dan for that.
Maybe. But yeah, and so the hell yeah. So time, money, energy. It's just like, and then also adding to the money, not just the ticket prices, but gas. And on top of the fact, you have people that just don't have a movie theater near them anymore. So like, I was talking with a guy, a friend of a friend. He was like, yeah, the nearest movie theater near me is 2 hours away.
That's
like,
crazy.
That's a lot. And you have like movie theaters that are dropping like flies.
Where the frack does this man live? That's crazy.
I don't actually know. I'm not again, he's a friend of a friend, so I'm not really friendly with him. So but it's just
you
like,
don't believe me, Wonka, 628 million, 700 million for Dune Part 2. Oh yeah, Antonio, no, we agree. He is a star, just not in the way that people have a movie star now, but like I do agree that the movie star doesn't have the same draw as it used to.
As it used to be. And again, like, energy was the biggest thing also.
So much more, right? Like I mean, even the Brad Pitt movies, like, I remember it was just like, oh my God, it's Brad Pitt. Oh my God, it's this. Oh my God, it's Julia Roberts. Oh my God, we have to see this movie. But like, even then, that didn't have as much draw as like Elizabeth Taylor did. The movie star
Richard Burton or
God,
Charlton Heston.
Yeah,
or,
all of it. Or you're talking, my goodness, from. You have any of the old James Bond movies? Any of those?
Sean Connery. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. You've got Sean Connery. Then you've got the Casablanca actor.
Humphrey Bogart.
There we go. Like all of these people.
Katharine Hepburn.
Oh
like
yeah,
you have
all
like
of them. I mean, yeah, Julia.
Roberts?
No, not Julia Roberts.
That's why I was like confused.
My goodness. It just so many. But essentially, it's just like it has just slowly decayed, and I think especially as more and more content has come out, and there's so many people that are being discovered, it's like there are no real movie stars anymore. Like,
and then on top of the fact, and people also don't have the energy. And what I was like trying to, because like again, 3 to 4 jobs, people just don't have the energy to be like, I don't feel like going to a movie. I'm going to stay at home with my dog, eat popcorn on the couch, and watch whatever's on Netflix.
MCU versus a movie star from other studios. Now Chris Pratt is a movie star. He's made billions of dollars with Universal, but Timothée Chalamet is.
I don't know what you're saying, but
yeah, I mean, we're not disagreeing that MCU has anything to do with anything. It's just that the argument that Harrison Ford is making in this like in this article is that, and what I'm saying is that he doesn't really have the right to. People that have come out in the MCU, like Chris Pratt is now defined as Captain America. There's not really
Star-Lord.
Oh, Star-Lord. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Chris Evans.
Yeah, the Chris. You know what? It's fine. The Chris's get confusing.
No. I was like all of the Chris's. My apologies. No, Chris Evans is Captain America, right? And then you have Chris Pratt is Star-Lord. Like you have all of the fucking Chris's. Like what?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. It's just like all of these people are now defined by their Marvel characters, and it is a little bit harder for them to break out of that if they don't already have a huge resume walking into it. Like Robert Downey Jr. had a huge resume all throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. And then he fell off because he was in rehab and just having like a terrible issue. And he used the MCU to relaunch his career, right?
Yeah.
But he already had the basis for so much more before that. Then you look at Chris Evans. Chris Evans had kind of fallen off the wayward path until Captain America again.
Yeah.
And then he used that to revive his career. But really, since then, he's only done a handful of movies, and they've all kind of been like, you know what I mean? So it's like, how far is he going to go without Captain America?
We were literally just talking about Christopher Reeve, how no one wants to see these movies. That's what happened. Like he got typecast as Superman. He was trying to do all these movies, and he was doing a lot of really good movies, like Somewhere in Time, Monsignor. He was doing these great movies, and but nobody cared because they wanted to see him as Superman. So he didn't want to do a third movie. He really didn't want to do a fourth movie. So he got stuck at that. And that's what's kind of happening now. Yeah. And kind of I'm going to circle back to this, but also what I was trying to say, and the reason that a movie star doesn't really exist anymore, the big conclusion I was trying to get to was people are looking for an experience now, whether they know it or not subconsciously.
Yeah.
Obviously not the general audiences are like us, where we analyze, we look at the pacing, the editing, the cinematography, like all these little things, but they're subconsciously looking at that because it's not like I'm going to see this movie for this one person and it'll be the greatest thing ever if I just see this person. They're like, no, they want to be entertained by the whole package. And that's why the movie star is dying, because nobody's just looking for that anymore, because that's not enough anymore. Because what I was saying with the time, energy, and money that people have to expense to go to the theater now, that
so much more.
Movie star is not enough.
But I don't even think it's just that, like just the
it's not just that, but like also times have changed.
Life speeds up. Sometimes movies are hard to like sit through, like because our attention spans are so long. If the movie's not fucking phenomenal, I check my phone halfway through. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like,
I don't like to do that because I feel like I'm rude. I don't like doing that.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm getting over being sick, so I'm struggling a little bit.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's just so what we were saying. Was
Also,
it Antonio that we were talking to? But it was essentially like Harrison Ford is saying, like, people are so silly for saying that the MCU is like a silly career move. Like, that's not going to affect whether or not you make it. It's like, yeah, but who the fuck are you to say that? Because you have been.
You're also Indiana Jones,
70s.
Han Solo,
yeah, like
and
you
Jack
are
Ryan.
some of the most iconic characters in film since the 70s. Like, who the fuck are you to sit here and say anything about whether or not you should make a career move like that? Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry,
well, he's the last remnants of that, really.
Yeah.
Like the block. Because there's different kinds of movie stars. I will say I'll put them into 3 categories. The Golden Age movie star, which is like the big golden marquee Elizabeth Taylor type. Then you have the blockbuster movie star, which is like Harrison Ford and all those kinds of guys, or Will Smith. Is another good one. Brad Pitt, and Angelina Jolie as well. That was another big one. And then you have the modern movie star, which is like someone you recognize and you would go see a movie for, but like that's not the be all and end all.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Chris Pratt. Tom Cruise is another good blockbuster movie star example. But like a Chris Pratt, Ryan Reynolds, Henry Cavill, where you're like, okay, they're clearly defined by a role, most likely a superhero one, but you're also enjoying all these other projects from them, but you're not seeing that for that sole reason. Like, you're like, oh, I'll go see Voltron because Henry Cavill's in it, but you also hope to find a great movie experience outside of that. So I feel like that's a good, like, again, it's just to say that the death of movie stars is totally rubbish, as Harrison Ford is saying here, is ridiculous, because it's just like, your idea of a movie star has been dead for a while. I mean, the golden age of movie star has been dead since like the 70s or 80s. And so it's like, so we're in like a modern movie star where it's like totally different, but it's not like, it doesn't hold the weight like it used to. So, but speaking of movie stars, modern movie stars, we have Josh Brolin as a modern movie star. He was almost Hal Jordan. He was Thanos. And we look ahead to his next movie, Brothers. Like that segue, ladies and gents. I'm doing this all day. Anyway, so Brothers is going to be a heist movie with Peter Dinklage, Brendan Fraser, and Glenn Close. And it seems like, it's like a typical like one last job kind of thing, where it's like they need to go find, I think it's like emeralds or diamonds, or like it's one last heist. And Peter Dinklage, the kind of grimy, gritty, like owes a lot of debts to people brother, needs the help of his kind of wimpy other brother to like get him out of this and that kind of thing. So it seems like a fun time. Is it going to be good? Probably not, but I do like the cast. I like Josh Brolin. I like the fact how Josh Brolin is like this wimpy sad sack. Like, that's fun. Like, we don't really see that from him. Peter Dinklage is always fun, even though he gypped 7 little people out of Snow White, but we don't talk about that. Glenn Close is always amazing. Hey, I said it. I'll say it. It's just like, this looks like a fun time. It's not going to exactly be Brothers with, what was it?
The movie looks stupid as fuck. I just like Peter Dinklage. Sorry. Yeah, I was like, I watched the trailer for this and I was like, yeah, no, this is like something you have.
And it looks like it's one of M. Emmett Walsh's last movies, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I like the cast. Like, I love
Peter Dinklage. I think he's hilarious as hell. Do I think I'm gonna go see this movie?
Well, it's on Prime, so you don't have to go.
Thank God. Thank God.
So it's just a Prime movie. So I'm probably just gonna be like, let's see, and then I'm like, this was garbage.
The wig on Glenn Close is crazy. That's definitely a wig. My goodness.
Oh yeah, like no doubt about it.
Not even sort of.
We stand Glenn Close here. Anyway, but it looks like a decently fun time. Is it going to be bad? Probably, but it's Amazon Prime. Like they don't make good movies. Like the last two major movies I know of from Amazon Prime were Ricky Stenicki and Jackpot, which were both horribly bad.
Yeah, I actually don't remember the last movie I watched on Prime.
I think they need to stick to TV. I think you need to stick to don't stick to TV.
But honestly,
I would say don't stick to TV shows because you're doing Rings of Power. And less said about that, the better. So I'm probably going to watch that. Angelina's probably not going to watch that. But that's okay.
Yeah. It's fine. So
Angelina, ladies first, where can the lovely people find you on the net? Just
on
curious.
On the net, at Authentically Angelina. That's my IG and TikTok, everybody. I haven't been as crazy busy over there as I usually am, but it's good things. I was filming a movie over the weekend, which is very exciting. I have a few commercials coming out. I unfortunately did not get the Kohl's commercial that I was on avails for, but that's okay. Kohl's. Because I'm gonna get the next one, so it's fine.
No, fuck Kohl's. They didn't. I applied for a job there and they rejected me. So fuck.
Oh
no. And then you know what's funny? Like less than a year later, they closed, and now it's a carpet place and an Aldi's. So
then it wasn't meant to be. Fuck Kohl's. No,
yeah,
I actually like Kohl's. My mom's a Kohl's card member. I
actually do like Kohl's, but like that's But anyway, where you can find you can find me at Geek Informant. That's fun. I just did a live show earlier today. That's why we had to do that. I'm not Bridget, Dan. Thank you. So I recently did an Oscar-a-thon live stream. And so we've been doing a lot of fun stuff there. You could also follow me on the Cool Kids movie reviews. We're looking to get a ton of subscribers. We're at 120 now, and that's exciting, but we could always do more. So both of those channels, you can find me. Yep. You could also find me John/Batman89 on Letterboxd. If you want to follow me on Letterboxd, you can do that too. It's like a film analysis site. Like you could like write reviews and log movies like in a diary and stuff like that. Right. So if you want to see movie reviews of stuff I'm watching, then go follow me there. If you can't find me because mine it's a generic name, my profile pic is John Carpenter going like this. Yeah. Yeah.
Always remember to like, share, subscribe, hit all those buttons. It really helps us.
Maybe even dislike if you hate dogs.
Never press the fucking dislike button. What?
What? I want to be honest with the people. If they don't like it,
just comment that you don't like us. We'll fix it, okay? Don't
Lenny couldn't get her lovely Fiona, so she's probably gonna dislike the live show, which is fair. But
we'll make sure Fiona's here next time. She was laughing in the background earlier. I heard her. I was like, "Who's that?"
But make sure to like, make sure to comment. If you're not watching us live, maybe you can on a DCU Daily. We can get your comment up there. If Dan starts to do the comments again, start doing the fan comments again.
I'm gonna go drink more cough syrup so that I
go do that. Subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we go live. We have weird times. We apologize, but that's how you know when we go live. So thank you for watching. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a happy October. We hope we see you tomorrow for another DCU Daily.